Destiny, and today we are going to be checking out Evernight on the Creator Experience server. And before we get into today's video, I would love to know if you are personally excited for Evernight, if you are considering pulling for her, and lastly, if you enjoy videos like these, consider subscribing to see more content from me, leave a like to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. So here we have Evernight, and I thought we could actually just check out her animations a little bit before we begin today's showcase, which here's actually one of her idle animations. Oh, there's March right there, and she's just taking like little selfies. Okay, I love that so much. She's just so pretty. And then we also have normal March just to compare the differences, which one thing I noticed is that they actually have kind of different eye shapes if we just keep going back and forth. I wonder if March decided to do her makeup differently for this new look for the different eye shape, but she just looks so pretty with her new design right here. I really love the combination of the red, the black, and then also the white parts of her outfit. And I also really like her shoes. I think those are like little leg warmers that she has with her shoes, which I think is just super cute. And then with normal March's design, she's also very, very adorable, very, very happy as well. And for Evernight, we kind of have a different vibe going on, as we can see. And here's her parasol, which looks super cool. And then also here is her technique, where she has her jellyfish and her memosprite, which is of course Evey, and we can just do it once again. I just love her animations so much when it comes to also her facial expressions when she does her moves. Then we have March, of course. And then also here's her phone case, which her phone case looks pretty cool. It definitely fits a similar vibe to her outfit. And then if we check out normal March's phone case, she definitely has a completely different vibe with this new phone case. I'd love to know though, do you guys prefer the new March design or do you prefer the previous March design? We technically have one more design actually. Let's check out that one as well. We also have Boba March. So let's just switch real quick. And then if we take a look, or is this March your favorite? Honestly, I really like all the March designs. They're just all so pretty and cute. And with this one right here, I noticed that the back of her hair, she has these really long strands now, which does fit with, I feel like, her outfit. Also kind of fits the jellyfish type of vibe as well. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I absolutely love this design. I'd love to know what you all think. And now let's get into the showcase. So here we have March in Memory of Chaos. And oh, she also has another idle animation. Oh wait, this one, what is she doing here with her finger? But we also have our hyper carry team for March today. I'm also going to go over alternative characters you can use later on in today's video. So we're just going to use our techniques and then get straight into it. Boom. Evey is going to come in attacking, and now with Remembrance Trailblazer, we are going to summon our trusty friend Mem. With Hyacine, we're also going to summon little Ika. Just so cute. We have so many memosprites on today's team. We're going to advance forward Evernight, and we're also going to use Hyacine's ultimate right here. And there goes little Ika. Get some healing going, and now Tribbie's gonna come in with her follow-ups. Boom! So now we have our first attack with Evey here, which, as you guys can see above March's health bar, or I guess Evernight's health bar, my bad. We have 16 out of 16 stacks, which when you reach 16 or more Memoria, which is the name of these stacks, you'll be able to do this attack right here with Evey, and then Evey will also explode. So if we use our attack real quick, and boom! And now Evey's gone, so we're gonna have to actually re-summon Evey. But what we can do is also just use Evernight's ultimate right here, which will summon Evey as well. And boom! And now we are entering the darkest riddle state, which will last for 2 Evey explosion attacks. And what's even better about this is now when we use our skill, we will gain back Memoria. And also we don't use any skill points when we use our skill as well, which is great. But what's even better about this is during the darkest riddle state, Evey will actually turn into a red and black color. And then what ends up happening is when you use your skill, you'll also be able to gain more Memoria, and we'll also be able to deal more damage during this darkest riddle state. So we're going to use our skill here with Evernight. And with Tribbie, I am also going to use her ultimate here just so we can get the vulnerability from her ultimate. And if we take a look, we also have a vulnerability debuff from Darkest Riddle. So that'll also inflict a vulnerability debuff onto enemies when you use your ultimate. And now with Tribbie, we're going to have even more vulnerability onto these enemies right here. And now with Evernight, we can use her first attack here with Evey in the Darkest Riddle state. There we go. And now we have all of the red and black themes, and boom, there we go. We dealt some more damage right there. We are going to get attacked a bit, but this is perfectly fine. With Remembrance Trailblazer, I am just going to use their ultimate, and I also am going to follow up with the skill so we can just get more charge for Mem here. There we go. With Tribbie, I'll just basic attack. Now with Hyacine, we can just use her skill, get some more healing in. Boom. Now with Evernight, we are going to use her skill once again. We're at 30 out of 16 Memoria. Let's attack right here. Well, bam, we dealt some more damage. And now this big stingray jellyfish thing is going to summon its little friends. We are going to take some damage, but this is perfectly fine. We will just advance forward Evernight, get some more attacks in, use our skill, attack once again. Well, bam. Now with the Remembrance Trailblazer, we can skill like so. We are going to take some damage here, which is perfectly fine. And we are also going to use Evernight's ultimate to deal some more damage right here. Which whenever Evernight isn't at 16 or more Memoria, Evey will just do a water gun-like attack instead. With the Remembrance Trailblazer, we will just use our ultimate like so. And now with Hyacine, we can just use her ultimate, deal some more damage on two enemies here. Boom. And then whoop bam. And now with Hyacine, we could just use her skill, getting some more Memoria for Evey as well and Evernight. And there we go. These little jellyfish, stingray, whatever these things are a goner now. So now what we could do is just skill once again with Hyacine. And with Evernight here, we are just going to use her skill. We are at 49 out of 16 stacks. What we're going to do is actually use Remembrance Trailblazer's skill, advance forward Evernight once again, and we're about to have a bunch of Memoria stacks for Evernight. So we're going to use her skill once again. And now we're also going to use Tribbie's ultimate just to push everyone forward. Let's just speed this one up. And boom. Now with Evernight, we have 69 out of 16 Memoria. Let's just see how much damage this does. All right, I'm really excited for this. And boom, 1.2 million right there on 2 targets. Now with Tribbie, what we could do is just basic attack. With Hyacine, we are going to use her skill. There comes in little Ika. Now this jellyfish is going to attack us. I'm waiting for Japard to put the shield on these enemies right here. All right, there we go. Now we could just use Hyacine's ultimate once again. I want to break the shields off of these jellyfish. Oh, actually, Tribbie's going to come with the follow-up to do this, which is great. Now we're going to use Evernight's skill once again. And now we could just use her skill. Boom. There we go. We are going to get attacked a bit, but this is perfectly fine. With the Remembrance Trailblazer, we are just going to attack like so with our ultimate. We are also going to skill, advance forward Evernight. We're going to use her ultimate right here just to summon Evey once again. What bam. Here comes in Tribbie. All right, these jellyfish are going to attack us, but this actually means more Memoria for us. Oh, actually, never mind. They're just going to die. All right. So now what we could do is just attack with Evernight right here. And what bam. Use Evernight's skill once again here. We're just going to attack like so. What bam. 1% on Japard. Now little Ika is going to come in. We are also going to use Tribbie's ultimate right here. And there we go. The jellyfish stingray thing is dead. I really don't know what to call it, so I'm just gonna keep calling it a jellyfish stingray thing, I suppose. Let's check out the builds for today's video, and then I'll also give you all some suggestions for alternatives as well. All right, so first up, we have Evernight here, and here are her stats. Do keep in mind, she does get a lot of crit damage within battle from her own kit, and then also Remembrance Trailblazer is helping us out with that. which with her trace Kindle the Morn, Drop the Rain, the more Remembrance characters in the team will increase the crit damage for all ally memo sprites by 5%, 15, 50, and then 65% respectively while Evernight's skill lasts. Then also Evernight's going to be able to get some more crit damage with Dark the Night, Still the Moon. We will also get 35% crit rate just with this trace as well, so that will now result in, if you do not use Remembrance Trailblazer with Evernight, you will want 65% crit rate. If you do use Evernight with Remembrance Trailblazer, since Remembrance Trailblazer is going to give us 10% with their E1, this means you will now want 55% on Evernight. And then of course, if there's any other ways you're getting crit rate, you can account for that as well. Now, as for Evernight, we are using her signature light cone, but here are some alternative light cones you can consider using. For her traces, they are maxed out, and what's really nice about Evernight's traces is that they are all very useful for her. She is an HP scaling damage dealer, so we have some max HP traces, which is awesome, and we also have crit rate and crit damage traces. So I would say all of her little traces right here are all very useful stats that she can take advantage of, which is excellent in my opinion. As for her relics, we are using the Woven Dream set and the World Remaking Deliverer set, which for her planar sets you can use Bone Collection as well. And for her relic set, this is the new upcoming relic set, which will give some crit rate, and we also will be able to increase our max HP of the wearer as well as their memo sprite and increase all allies damage dealt by 15% as well, lasting until the wearer's next use of their basic attacker skill. So this set is pretty nice for Evernight right here. For her Eidolons, she is also E0. I have not activated any of these, as you guys can see. And speaking of her E1 real quick, this E1 is definitely going to be very powerful if you are using her, of course, alongside multiple Remembrance characters, which Evernight does want to be paired alongside numerous Remembrance characters because of how her kit is set up and the buffs that she'll be able to provide for the team. So I just wanted to point out her E1 will be pretty powerful in that aspect for sure, for just boosting the team's damage. But once I do my Evernight review, I'll be going over her E1 and her light cone a bit more in depth. Now we have Tribbie, and here are her stats. We also are using Dance Dance Dance. We have maxed out traces, and for our relics, we're just using Bone Collection and Poet of Morning Collapse, and she is E0. For Remembrance Trailblazer, here they are. We are using Memory's Curtain Never Falls. For the traces, they're maxed out. For the relics, we're using Spratly Von Whack and the Eagle sets. And for the Eidolons, of course, they are maxed out. Lastly, we have Hyacine. She does have her signature light cone, which Hyacine's signature light cone is really nice alongside Evernight due to the fact that Evernight will gain Memoria whenever she loses HP, which it mentions in her talent. Each time Evernight or Evey loses HP, their crit damage will increase by 60% for 2 turns, and you will gain 2 Memoria. So Hyacine's signature light cone being able to drain the HP of allies whenever she uses her basic attack, skill, or ultimate will be useful for gaining more Memoria for Evernight, which in turn benefits Evey's damage output. For the traces, they are maxed out. For the relics, we are using Giant Tree and then Warrior Goddess of Sun and Thunder. And lastly, for Eidolons, she's E0. Now, when it comes to alternative characters you can use alongside Evernight, some other supports you can consider can be a character like Cypher. Cypher is going to be able to record the damage the team is dealing onto enemies. She can also inflict a vulnerability debuff just by being on the field, which will benefit the entire team's damage output. And then, of course, as mentioned, since she can record the damage being dealt onto enemies, it'll be very useful in the case of being able to deal some adequate damage with her ultimate and help you with finishing off enemies that you are facing. You could also consider a character like Silverwolf. Silverwolf is going to be able to implant enemies with ice weakness if they aren't already weak to ice, and this will allow you to have an easier time breaking them with Evernight. And then also, of course, Silverwolf is also going to reduce their resistances, their defense, and so on. So Silverwolf can also be a nice supportive option. More options can consist of Raw Mei. You can consider Pela. Pela is going to be able to reduce all enemies' defenses, as well as also reduce an enemy's ice resistance with her E4, which is useful for Evernight's damage output, as Evernight is an ice character. And there are just multiple options that you can use aside from, for example, Tribbie. When I did my tests, which I will upload videos soon without Tribbie on the team, I was able to get very nice results with other supports as well in the slot of Tribbie. Remembrance Trailblazer is, of course, free, so they will likely remain a consistent character on the team for my future showcases, as they are very accessible for everyone. And then for Hyacine slot, now if you don't have Hyacine, you can use a character like Gallagher, a very nice 4-star sustain option. And if you want to use Evernight as a dual DPS, you can use her alongside Castorice. They will have a pretty nice synergy with one another. Castorice is going to assist with getting more Memoria for Evernight, and Evernight is going to assist with getting some more new blood for Castorice. And then of course, when Evernight is in the Darkest Riddle state, she'll be able to inflict a 30% vulnerability debuff onto enemies, so that'll be very useful as well, just for the team's damage output. I will be showcasing Evernight with some more characters very soon, more supports, and then also with Castorice, and maybe also some very fun teams as well with some other dual DPS teams, and then potentially some other dual DPS teams as well. But I'd love to know if you are considering to pull Evernight, or if you're potentially going to skip her, and for who. And lastly, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.